Hello, my name is Crystal. Welcome to my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Today we'll be taking a look at Netflix's documentary, The Unknown Number, The High School Catfish, as well as discussing things missed in the Netflix documentary. This story is about Lauren Licari and Owen McKenney. I want you to put yourself in their shoes. Imagine you're Lauren. She's 13, live in a small town where everyone knows each other. She's athletic and outgoing. She has a lot of friends, and she's dating a well-liked athlete from the school. Around Halloween, she starts getting these text messages. These text messages say, "Hi Lauren, Owen is breaking up with you. He no longer likes you and hasn't liked you for a while. It's obvious he wants me. He laughs, smiles, touches my hair. Not sure what he told you, but he is coming to the Halloween party and we're both DTF. You're a sweet girl, but I know I can give him what he wants. Sorry, not sorry." She has no idea who's sending these messages. She's just assuming it's one of Owen's friends. And then after the Halloween party, the messages just stop. They stop for close to a year, and then they just start flooding in. How's the happy couple? Preparing for the end of your golden relationship? We hear about how you are the forever couple. Some of us don't want to hear it anymore. Owen loves me, and I will always be the girl he loves. He will be with me while your lonely and ugly ass is alone. From that chunk of messages, whoever's sending them is clearly jealous and doesn't want Lauren and Owen to be together. Now remember, it's a small town. Everyone knows each other. They're wondering, who could it be? They have almost all the kids in their high school's phone numbers. So what do? They call the number they're receiving these texts from. It rings, and no one picks up. They get a text right after saying, "Stop calling, we're not going to answer." They still can't figure out who's sending these messages. But in that last text, they lose Lo, which is Lauren's nickname. So it has to be someone she knows, or at least someone she used to be close to. The messages start coming in daily, multiple times a day, up to 50 times a day. "You are the ugliest person I've ever seen. You are worthless and mean nothing. You never have. Get a fucking life out of here. Owen will never look at you or talk to you again. You fucked up his life so bad. His family fucking hates you for it. And he will never in his life acknowledge you again. Get the fuck lost, bitch. He is fucking done with you. Fucking trash, bitch. Don't fucking wear leggings. Ain't no one want to see your flat anorexic ass." Lauren, Owen, and their friends would intentionally speak loudly around crowds of students to see if anything they spoke about would get back to them in these text messages. They started their own suspect list. The next step is that they tell their parents. Owen's parents are very concerned. Lauren's dad is very concerned. Lauren's mom says, "Just ignore it. It's probably kids that are jealous, just messing around." But how can you ignore these messages? These messages are mean, they're cruel, and they start getting worse. "You be ugly as skank. Ugly motherfucker. You dress like a slut." Then the messages start taking sexual undertones. They start becoming sexual about a 13-year-old boy, Owen McKenney. More messages come in saying that Lauren embarrasses Owen, that Owen hates Lauren. Owen's avoiding Lauren. Lauren's useless, Lauren's anorexic, and they say that they will break you, as in they will break Lauren. Imagine being in high school. And high school can be tough. You're going through so many changes, and you start getting these text messages that are constantly tearing you down, constantly focusing on your insecurities. You're getting harassed with these messages multiple times a day. Your parents finally go to the school. They try to get this resolved, but they can't do much. The school watches the security footage. They try to time when Lauren and Owen are getting the messages with who's on their phone. But it's impossible. It's a high school. Teenagers everywhere. Everyone's on their phone. Imagine how helpless you must feel at this moment. If you're being harassed, the thought would be, block the number, right? It's as easy as just blocking the number. Well, that's not true in this situation. The unknown texter was using an app that would disguise the phone number. It would generate random numbers. So if you blocked one, they would just create a new one and start messaging you with that number. The text continued to be sexual. They would say that they're meeting up with Owen or that they met up with Owen, and it started to take a strain on Lauren and Owen's relationship. Lauren started questioning Owen. Maybe he is meeting up with them. The unknown texter intentionally caused distrust between Lauren and Owen, and ultimately it led to their breakup. But breaking up is what the texter wanted, right? The messages should stop here. Wrong. The messages get worse. He thinks you're trash. He thinks you're a dumb, ugly ass. He hates you. You're worthless. Something I can't say. Yourself. Jump off a bridge. So not only is Lauren heartbroken, she's caved in, she's given them what they want. And now they're not only calling her names, they're not only harassing her, now they're taking it to the ultimate extreme and they're telling her to blank herself. They're saying, blank yourself now, bitch. His life would be better if you were dead. You finish yourself before we do. They're editing pictures of Lauren and Owen, writing these horrible messages, covering up her face. This is now threatening, not only the messages, not only the images, but they're tracking their every move. They know where they were, they know where they are, and they know where they're going. They're stalking them. 15 months in, the police finally get involved. They start meeting with Lauren and Owen on a weekly basis. They're meeting with their parents. They're trying to solve the million-dollar question, who is the unknown texter? Lauren starts getting messages about her basketball games. The unknown texter is making fun of her performance. These messages are causing Lauren to withdraw and underperform in a sport that she loves and a sport that she's good at. The unknown texter made an important mistake. They included a detail in one of their messages saying that they even scored 12 points. Since Kendra, Lauren's mom, is a volunteer scorekeeper, she was able to locate the score sheet and saw that only one person scored 12 points that game. Chloe Wilson, the same girl who did not invite Lauren to her Halloween party shortly after the messages started. The girl who is rumored to not be the nicest girl at school. The girl who secretly had an on and off crush on Owen. Could they have just figured out who the unknown texter is? Is it all over? So the police start the interview process with Chloe, and they include 2 other girls that she's best friends with. The police do a forensic download on Chloe's phone, but they come up with nothing. The unknown texter is now intentionally pointing towards Chloe. They're sending pictures of her. There's no way that Chloe would send a picture of herself if she was the unknown texter. Clearly someone is trying to frame her. The next lead was a photo taken at the McKenny's Christmas dinner. Whoever sent this message sent an image of the phone case that Owen got at that Christmas dinner. Whoever the unknown texter was in attendance of that dinner. The fingers are now pointed at Owen's cousin, Adriana. Adriana is part of a small group at school. She's part of this shy, quieter group. She also accused Chloe and her friends of throwing carrots at her. She could have framed Chloe. She could be so angry with Chloe and her friends that if she's the unknown texter, she would frame Chloe. The police start questioning Adriana, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Adriana starts getting messages from the unknown texter. This eventually eliminates her from the suspect list. With Adriana now cleared, they were back to square one. Lauren doesn't want to go back to school. The messages aren't letting up. It's to the point that Lauren responded letting them know that let her know what to do so the messages could stop. We're now 18 months in, and the police contact the cyber crimes unit of the FBI. The FBI looks at the police investigation files. They also start their own investigation. The FBI looked into all the phone numbers, and more importantly, the companies that these phone numbers belong to. And the FBI ended up getting a hit. One phone number tracked back to an app called Pinger, which is an app used to disguise phone numbers. After a search warrant, Pinger was able to provide 2 IP addresses that both belonged to a Verizon network. Verizon was able to provide documentation with the phone numbers attached to those specific IP addresses. They compared phone numbers with the IP addresses, and there was one particular phone number that kept appearing. One phone number that was sending messages at the same time that Lauren and Owen were receiving the unknown texter's messages. To everyone's surprise, the name attached to these phone numbers that appeared multiple times was Kendra Licari, Lauren's mother. That's not possible, right? How could a mother do that to her daughter? A mother couldn't send vile and disgusting text messages like that. They wouldn't discuss sexual acts about a 13-year-old boy, about her daughter's ex-boyfriend. No one could have seen this coming, right? Wrong. The Netflix documentary left out quite a bit of details. Craig and Tammy Wilson, Chloe's parents, had a suspicion that it was Kendra Licari. They even contacted the police with their suspicion. Whispers started among the Beale City residents. Could it be Kendra? The police asked Owen's parents, Jill and Dave McKenny, if it was possible that the unknown texter was Kendra Licari. At first, they didn't think it was possible. No way Kendra could have been doing this. It wasn't until Owen and Lauren broke up that the McKennys started to question if it could be Kendra. She started to force herself into Owen's life. She would show up to his games even though Lauren was no longer dating Owen. She would ask who he's dating, ask him all about his love life, in a way prying. Kendra Licari went so far as the unknown texter that when Owen did get a new girlfriend during the mess of all of this, she found the girlfriend's mother's phone number and started sending these vile messages to her. This would end up causing another strain in a relationship for Owen, and they would break up. This new girlfriend went to a different school, she lived in a different city, and she still couldn't avoid these messages. Lauren did seem calmer than you would think a child would act in this situation, finding out that their mother was the one behind their torment. People are assuming it's because Lauren had an idea it could be her mom. Kendra really lived two lives. She pretended she was working when really she was harassing these kids, tormenting them. Netflix doesn't go into detail of the sexual nature of these messages and Kendra's obsession with Owen, and because what grown adult is sending any child, let alone her daughter, messages about their boyfriend, and they're so sexual. Now this went on for almost 2 years. People in the city started thinking maybe Lauren was doing it herself for attention, when really Kendra, Lauren's mom, was sending these messages for attention. Kendra had the audacity to laugh in the documentary. She said, "People will think I'm a crazy lady." Absolutely, you are a crazy lady. I think you're a terrible person, and I think you're a terrible mother. When trying to answer the question everyone wants to know, why? Why would she do this? Netflix had a great opportunity, but they really dropped the ball. Kendra was talking about how she picked up on Lauren's insecurities and kind of weaponized them in the messages. But then she started saying that it really wasn't about Lauren. At that moment, you hear who I'm assuming is a producer say, "Was it about you?" I think they shouldn't have stepped in. I feel like they helped lead her answer. And don't get me started on the excuse of every single one of us makes mistakes. We don't live perfect lives. And then goes on to say a lot of us have probably broken the law. I'm sorry, stealing a 5-cent candy from 7-Eleven when you're 10 years old is not the same as this. And I'm not saying stealing is good. No stealing is good. No breaking the law is good, but come on. She then tried to spin it that she didn't start sending the messages. The messages that started right before the Halloween party wasn't her, it was someone else. It was after that pause, that almost year of no messages, then she started it. She started to continue sending messages because she thought that would help them solve who initially started sending them. I don't believe that for 1 second. I think she started it and ultimately it ended with her. Kendra said she actually wasn't afraid that Lauren would hurt herself because she knew her daughter. They had conversations every day and she knew that she wouldn't do it. I don't care how much you think you know your child. These messages were capable of having someone, the strongest person, break. No parent should ever put their child what she put her daughter through. Lauren's father had no idea what was going on. He thought that she was working. He thought she was still at the university. He didn't know she was sending these messages to these kids. He really had no idea who he was married to. Kendra was arrested December 2022. The judge sentenced Kendra to 19 months in jail for stalking minors. So stalking these kids, harassing them, tormenting them for almost 2 years. In those 2 years, she sent tens and thousands of text messages to Owen and Lauren. And as of filming the documentary, Lauren still hasn't seen her mother. She does have a relationship with her over the phone. It sounds like she really wants to continue to have a relationship with her mom and eventually see her in person. Now, I've never been in Lauren's position. From where I stand on the outside looking in, I wouldn't want a relationship with my mother if she did that to me. I don't think anyone should judge Lauren for her decision. There's no right or wrong one. I really hope she holds her mom accountable. She can always forgive. And I hope she doesn't forget the actions of her mother. I hope we never hear of another story like this. Cybercrime is happening around us all the time. And when it's a parent, that is unacceptable. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a great day.